Okay, what's up everybody? Welcome to my channel. You too can be great. This is the Growing Up Hip Hop LA/New York, whichever one you want to call it, season 5, episode 19, the SetUp review. Before I begin, y'all go ahead and check out my new book that I just released on Amazon a couple months ago called Just Add Pepper by A.S. Blaine. Again, that's Just Add Pepper by A.S. Blaine. I'll put the link and information below this video. I'm also going to leave a picture of what the book should look like at the end of this video as well. Those of you who have supported me and have read the book and have great things to say about it, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I put my heart and soul into this book. At 21 years old, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was studying math over here writing books. And I finally got the courage to put it out there. And for those of you who are actually supporting me, and regardless of the people who told me not to go and do something that I had put effort into and put it out there to just hide it away because it's supposed to be risque and all that stuff, I appreciate it. And I do let you guys know how I appreciate it because I do message you guys as well for those of you who have. If you can leave me a comment on Amazon, that'd be great to also help me as well, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. Now, for this video, I didn't actually write notes down because I got someplace I need to be in a few minutes, but I wanted to get y'all the review right quick. So I'm going to go over every scene. Everything that happened in each scene is just going to be out of order, but I'll tell you what happened and what I saw, what my thoughts were, right? And somebody who left me a comment talking about, girl, you're talking too much in your review. Just shut the fuck up, bitch. Get off my page. That's what I feel like. Get off my page. This is a review. My job is to review the episodes, which means I'm going to have a lot to say depending on how lit the show is. If it's lit, if there's a whole lot of wonderful things happening, I will talk about it. If there's some things that I need to just address, I will do that as well. If the review takes a long time and me running my mouth and saying my opinion, go right ahead and move it on along, because y'all get to go down to the comments and let me know what y'all think, whether you like it or not, whether you agree, disagree. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I'm entitled to mine. If it doesn't suit your liking, or you feel like I'm doing something that's against the black community or whatever you want to call it, then go on right ahead and go find yourself some other YouTuber to harass. I don't want to hear it. Okay, now let's get into it. So the episode begins where it left off, because y'all know that Lil Easy went to meet up with JoJo, his wife Vanessa, and Angela, because he now has to go and relay the information to everybody that Romeo wants to meet up with the group, but he also has to relay that Master P is going to be there as well. And he's letting Angela and them know that Romeo has sent an email to everybody inviting them to this little sit down as if they're, you know, in a mob or some shit like that. However, Easy, like I said in last episode, and those of you who caught it, is very much two-faced. He has one side where he's saying, I really wish that everybody did come. You guys should come as a family and support, you know, maybe hash this out and talk to him and figure it out, because I don't think it's that serious. Communication is the key. All these bullshit, right? Then he's trying to convince people to go and have a conversation with Romeo. But how are you going to convince them? By letting them know everything that Romeo said that was negative about them when he's venting. Wouldn't it be smart to let them come to the little gathering, and while they're there, then say, yo, when I talked to you last time, we were over here playing fake pool and the cameras is in the corner. These are all the things that you said that you felt like you could have done to Angela. You felt like you could have taken advantage of her when her man passed away, which was very disrespectful to say, because that means that Angela is gullible enough to spread her legs because she's grieving, okay? You could have brought that up in that setting. Give Romeo and Master P the opportunity to defend themselves in front of the girl. Why tell her all this shit and then expect to go and sit down with somebody who basically says that she would have just been okay with sleeping around just because she's in pain? I've had my heart broken. I've had lost family members. Am I going to go and allow somebody to take advantage of me in that moment and to sleep with me? No, because I'm not that gullible. It means the person is dumb, or the person is easy, or the person, you know, is easy to get along. And Romeo and Angela have history. Yes, they both came up with the show on the, you know, together, and it was great. And that whole fake storyline with Romeo chasing after Angela over and over again, it was cool to watch, but we don't know how real it was, whether there was real feelings there. I don't know, but the show made it seem like that was the case, right? Now, Angela's hot because she's feeling some type of way. Now, I understand Angela's feelings, because if we had friendship for a number of years, you should be able to pick up the phone and call me and address whatever personal issues you have. At the same time, let's hypothetically speaking say that the episodes then just cut and paste scenes together to make Romeo look like he was chasing after Angela, that Romeo really genuinely had feelings for Angela at some point, because they were working together. She's a beautiful girl. He's around her. It's a possibility that she could have, and she's a huge flirt. It's a possibility she could have flirted her way into making him think that there was something there, and he went along with it, right? But Angela felt like she got Bow Wow going after her blatantly. She got Romeo suddenly putting hints towards her, but she didn't feel like Romeo would drop her the way that he dropped her. Like, cut her off, no explanations, no conversations, no closures, no nothing. I feel like it's making her humble herself a little bit. It's knocking her down a peg to make her feel like she wasn't a significant person in his life. At the same time, Romeo might be doing this drastic measure to get his point across and the type of person he can be. Maybe he's trying to prove he can be just as much an asshole as Bow Wow can be to girls too. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to prove that he's a grown man, he has balls, he can be a dick if he wants to. I don't know. But at the same time, I feel like maybe he feels Angela's feeling herself too much, which is why he was talking about the Instagram post and how she's feeling, you know, putting all these body shots. He feels like she's putting herself above what he feels she is. On one corner, that's the thought process he has. On the other corner, he's putting himself on a pedestal. Humble yourself, bro. Knock yourself a few steps down, because you're not that hot shot there to where you got to put yourself out there and get you're successful. But the way you're going about it is unattractive, all right? So he says all this. JoJo, with his attitude, pipes in, and JoJo makes a fair point that if Romeo wants to talk to them, they should all meet with Romeo alone and discuss it with Romeo, because they're all peers. Master P seems to be in every scene either trying to cut it when they're having a conversation or trying to butt in or do something, and he's the parent of Romeo. Romeo is his cub. As a father, you want to protect your child, but he's not technically a child anymore. He's a grown-ass man. He's fucking technically. He don't need you to be there to deal with other people that are the same as peers, because it seems like Master P had an issue with JoJo jumping in last season when Romeo had got into it with Angela and exposed all the stuff that he really feels to Vanessa, and Vanessa went and told Angela all of it. Angela was throwing a fit, talking about, you want fireworks, boom, and then JoJo was outside. You want to talk to somebody? Why would you go and talk to somebody else? All that nonsense he was doing. He was being on his chest. Everybody noticed it. I noticed it. JoJo makes a point saying that he shouldn't be involved. At the same time, JoJo shouldn't be involved anyway either. It should be just Angela and Romeo talking about their personal problems, right? But it seems like Romeo has issue with everybody on that scene, in this show, right? So he wants to speak to everybody at the same time, probably to let them know he's quitting the show, because we know from side T he's not going to be back. Master P's not going to be back. And then recently we found out that Egypt is also not going to be back, because she's lying to herself, thinking that the show is what makes her look bad with Sam, not realizing that Sam is what makes her look bad with Sam. So after Lil Easy goes and basically runs his mouth and tells them all the negative shit that they said about them in the background, he's now saying, okay, so guys, are y'all gonna come? No, why would they come when somebody's talking shit about them when you just disclosed that? What's wrong with you? Angela decides to call Romeo because she says that he doesn't communicate with her whatsoever. She calls him, he doesn't call back, he doesn't answer. And Lil Easy makes a point saying that Angela only calls Romeo when she's on camera because she wants it to be filmed. She doesn't try it off camera. Angela's saying, well, Romeo doesn't call me off camera either. It's just that he said, she said, back and forth. We don't know who the hell's telling the truth. But what we do know is Angela picked up the phone on camera, called him on camera, and he ignored her on camera. That's what I do know. That's the only fact I have. Then we got the next scene where Peppa now throwing a fit because now she wants to be a mom, right? She wants to say that she wants to basically figure out why Egypt, her daughter, her baby girl, who would never put her hands on somebody, felt comfortable enough to technically assault someone by way of fist on last episode, and, you know, think it's okay because it's something that's out of her character. She comes with her bodyguard, Sam. Sam shows up. Egypt is being questioned, right? Because now he realizes Peppa is pissed off. He decides to do the whole BS behavior he always does. Yo, you know, it's not about me, I'm gonna walk away. Why you walk away now? Why don't you stand there and tell this girl's mama that you're the one who pumped her daughter up to go and put her hands on somebody in the first place? Why don't you take the prize when it's time for you to take the prize? Let me explain to you what Sam just did, right? When Sam felt like Titi was in his way to stay in a relationship with Egypt, he went after Titi, made up that whole crazy ass story about her coming out of the shower, running naked in front of him as if she wanted to show him all her goodies, right? To get the family to go against Titi, correct? Now, Brianna's in his way, because Brianna's also on social media running her mouth and saying whatever she wants to say about their relationship. Brianna needs to learn to stay out of whatever Egypt and Sam is doing, because Egypt is 21 years old. Let her make her life decisions and mistakes and learn from them. Going online expressing yourself is not the best way to do it, because it's not your relationship. You shouldn't be that much invested in something that doesn't apply to you to that extreme. Granted, I know you've known Egypt all her life. You want to take care of her. You want to be supportive. You're trying to be protective because you've known her so long. You have a huge age gap. But sometimes you got to let people make mistakes on their own. So let the girl live with the man that she wants to live with, who's crazy as hell, right? But now that Brianna is the problem and she's basically making them her storyline for the most part, Sam's going to do whatever it takes to get Brianna to look like a bad guy like he did with Titi, right? Same MO. Then he convinced Egypt. Egypt is sitting up there for her mom and she needed to get her story straight. Mom, I was just, Brianna, she antagonizes people. She has her moments, but in this situation, Brianna, y'all sat up there and lied to Peppa. You know how I know you lied? Y'all made it seem like Brianna was the only aggressor, which was inaccurate. This was a pajama party. Lil Twist pajama birthday party. You showed up in sweats. What was it, a ponytail? Like you ready to fight. You sat down with an aggressive expression like you wanted to confront her because your man didn't hype you up, made you feel like you were big and bad because you were Trapper. And you're going to come over there and you're going to not try to fight somebody who's older than you and stronger than you and bigger than you and could toss your ass across the road and leave you to get run over by a car. You came there aggressive. Brianna at first was being condescending, talking to her. When things got a heated argument, she started raising her hand and arguing. She got up. Egypt got up, and the lie that Sam told Peppa, because now he's gonna control Egypt and tell her to sit off on the side and let me explain this because I'm the one that can spin the story to where your mama can buy it with her airhead ass. So he says that Brianna told somebody, take my rings, bitch. No, she didn't. Brianna said, take my rings, baby. Right? That's what she said, number one. Number two, Egypt was proud to tell Peppa that she hit her twice. She wasn't pretty. I hit her twice. And the way they made it seem is I hit her twice and Brianna flew to the floor. They pulled Brianna away. And the only person who knows the facts is Titi, who knows Brianna, said if Brianna would have put her hands on Egypt, Egypt would not have survived that fight. Why is her man, who's supposed to be the person to influence her to be a better version of herself? Because she's bringing all this wealth, all this fame. I would never know who Sam is if he wasn't on the show. She's his meal ticket. She's basically upgrading his life and he's downgrading hers. Why is it that somebody who's never had the audacity to go and put her hands on somebody, angry or not, will now go and put her hands on somebody, risking getting her ass thrown in jail on your behalf, and your job, which you did on the side, was egg her on and motivate her to go and be a bad version of herself. Peppa's behind is so gullible. She buys this BS ass stories and forgets the fact that she got to check her daughter and understand that, if Brianna wanted to press charges, she could. You did this on national television. We all saw it. You never hit somebody in your life and you choose now to hit somebody that not only can beat your ass but can get you in trouble, but the law, that's what you want? When you out here trying to start your career at 21 years old, she forgets all that. And she's like, well, if my daughter feels threatened, she feels threatened. I was like, girl, shut up. Then they show Egypt on the confessional. Egypt says, I let Sam have the floor because Sam saw everything from the side and he was able to explain it. No, Sam looked at Egypt and said, I let you talk. Now it's my turn. Like he's her pimp. No, excuse me, you should look at me with love when you explain things to me and be like, listen, baby, let me explain this to your mom. I feel like I can do it a little bit better because it seems like you're a little bit nervous right now. So just give me a few minutes and let me get it out there. Instead, it's like, pump your brakes, let me speak. And she listens and goes and tries to cover her ass by saying, well, he seems to know more than I do, so let me just go ahead and let him talk. I don't know what kind of equipment Sam has. He's out here turning this girl's world because she is all fucked up in the head. Lil Twist was right in that party when he was talking to her. You really love this dude, for real. Like, you love him. That's why you out here acting a fool. Number two. Number three, I cannot stand the fact that Samantha can have so much power over somebody that she's not able to think straight, and the mama's out here looking dumb. Peppa forgot her place as mother. She didn't actually pay attention to the root of the problem and let her daughter explain to her BS. Oh, Brianna got in my face. Brianna did get in your face, but you also showed up aggressive. You also had a role to play. Then we got Lil Twist, Lil Easy going to meet up with Boogie Dash, and Lil Twist at a clothing store, to now extend the same invite he extended to JoJo, Vanessa, and Angela to go and meet up have this little powwow that Romeo, this little Ponderosa that Romeo is setting up. And Lil Twist is having a conversation with him, and Boogie says, I don't have a problem with Romeo, but he just don't answer the damn phone and act like he's better than people and he's above us when we're all peers, right? Which is true. I feel the same way. Then they bring up the ICDC conversation again. I don't know. Somebody put in the comments that ICDC got closed. Did it really get closed? Because then if that's the case, I can understand why Romeo is pissed off. You know why? Because if Romeo was a face for ICDC College, and ICDC College got basically shut down for whatever scandalous things that they may or may not have been doing, it makes sense for Romeo to be pissed off because it's almost like a little black mark to his name. You out there repping a school to black folks because you black. You out here repping it to us. knowing that the school was fraudulent. It got closed down, one of those for-profit schools. So he doesn't want to have a constant reminder of it on TV of what his failure is, right? So if Lil Twist keeps making jokes about it, even though it's a joke and he needs to get over it, it keeps the conversation going, right? On top of that, Lil Twist said, I don't want to keep watching over my back to all his little ICDC classmates and peers be coming after me. Lil Twist has a mouth on him, but I feel like he can back it up if it comes down to where he can fight. He can really get down if it means that he has to check somebody. Lil Twist says that him and Romeo have known each other for 12 years. He doesn't understand why Romeo can't pick up the phone and address whatever issue he has over the phone, man to man. I don't understand it either. I can't have a friendship for 12 years and you can't call me when you got a problem with some joke I made and have a conversation with me. You got to do this whole scene. That's too much for me. It was a joke. He made a joke. It's a joke. If you're offended, pick up the phone and stop ignoring people. Period. Boogie then said something like, yo, Rome is tripping. And Lil Easy's two-faced ass, yeah. Which is it? Which, every time he speaks, I feel like I don't know if I'm losing my IQ points or what the issue is, but I'm just looking at his two-sided, two-faced behavior, and it's just irritating. Then, of course, they have to invite Brianna. Brianna has the same concerns that most of them have about going into the meeting and stuff like that, so they're not feeling it. The one thing that I appreciated that this show is Vanessa is going through a lot of weight ups and downs. Vanessa, she had a baby 6 years ago, and she's, gaining weight. As she gets older, people are going to gain weight. And she's a little bit concerned because she's never weighed what she's weighed today ever in her life. I have never weighed what I weigh today ever in my life. Ever. My face gets beautiful with age, but the rest of my body hasn't gotten the memo. I'm gonna need to go ahead and catch right up. Because when I get on the scales myself, my weight fluctuates. When I'm depressed or when I'm angry or when I don't feel like it, I'm not hungry. And if it lasts for a long time, I'm not eating because I'm not thinking about food, my weight will go down significantly, right? When I'm happy, I'm in a healthy situation, I eat regularly, I drink a lot of water, I do what I need to do, but exercising is not what I have. I don't do diets. I barely do the gym. I just don't have the discipline, so I intend to have the money to go and get surge if I need to in the future and just suck it right out and just push my titties up after I'm done breastfeeding. But for some people who don't have that discipline or who don't have a high metabolism like Vanessa might not have, it's difficult to go and see your body change over time when all these new young adults are coming out and being, and skinny. What you need to understand is we're going to grow. We're going to gain weight over time. It doesn't take away from her beauty. To me, Vanessa is extremely beautiful. I find her to be prettier than Angela. I just personally do, regardless of whether she's bigger or not. That's just what I see. But being that she's on social media, a lot of girls end up with, eating disorders because you're on TV and everybody's going to comment about whatever it is your body looks like. Oh, I already had somebody, I'm just doing reviews, talk about my edges. Like, why is your edges so back? Because they are. Because this is how I was built. Stop paying attention to what errors you find on me and worry about all the issues you have in yourself. Because for you to be that focused on my edges means that you must have something within yourself, and my face makes you uncomfortable. That's how I see it. At the end of the day, I'm not going to let my feelings get hurt. I'm just going to figure out what's wrong with you to try and point out whatever flaws you see in me. Let me point out my own damn flaws, damn it. But yes, I have gained weight over time. My arms are bigger than they have been. My face is probably, rounder. Vanessa's going through the same thing, and she's feeling uncomfortable looking at the mirror and seeing somebody who's bigger and it's not attractive to her. And I understand how she feels. I've been there too. I'm still there. Hell, this weight just won't drop. Whoever, some help me because I don't know how to get it off. Anyway, they had that scene. And then the final scene that I'm going to discuss, what happened last, is when they show Romeo and his posse coming in, right? Romeo decided to show up not only with Master P. I don't know why he was walking up that hill like he was going to fall over with his whole behind sticking out. I'm like, where you going? Are you running? Like, calm down. The only people that showed up to this meeting because of how Lil Easy marketed the meeting, talking shit and letting people know all the stuff that they were saying behind their back and how they were acting, nobody wanted to show. Boogie had picked up Brianna to go to this meeting. Brianna is anxious. She got her ponytail back. She's a little bit concerned about what's going to happen. They're waiting for Master P and Romeo to come, but Romeo shows up with his entourage of people that I've never seen before. First of all, Romeo's cute as hell. He's fine. He's beautiful. He's a handsome guy, I'm sorry. And some of his posse that he brought weren't bad to look at either. However, I don't feel like these people need to be here. So might as well tell them to go ahead and leave the meeting, and on their way out, leave their number in a piece of paper and just leave it for me because I want to take their numbers down just for emergency purposes only, okay? Then we see that he noticed that only Boogie and Brianna and Lil Easy shows up. Lil Easy bears his head in his hand as if it wasn't his fault. Like, oh, I got to deal with this. You did this. You ran your mouth. You could have just told everybody, just come to the meeting and hear what he has to say and let it go. You didn't do that. Then TT and her man, and TT is officially showing, come over to Peppa because they realize that Peppa can be easily manipulated because she only listens to one side of the story, especially the side that Brianna and Sam are going to tell. When she's talked to Brianna, Egypt and Sam are going to tell when she's talked to Brianna isolated, you know, and kind of put 2 and 2 together. She brought with them their brother, Tyran, or whatever came with them. They went to talk to Peppa, and they're letting Peppa know that what Egypt did, putting her hands on Brianna, was foul, because if Brianna would have hit her back, it would have been a whole lot of mess. It would have caused a bigger issue, number 1. Number 2, why is Egypt going out of character and putting her hands on somebody that's significantly older than her? Because Brianna's in her 30s, Egypt just turned 21. What are you doing? And then they're trying to point at her that the common denominator of all this nonsense is Sam. And of course, Peppa is delusional as usual. That one is the airhead. She only hears what she wants to hear. I don't know if she's playing this role of being an airhead because she's, you know, that's the role she wants to take while being on grown-up hip-hop reality TV. But I'm talking to her. I'm listening to her. I'm listening to her speak. And while she's defending Egypt's behavior, it don't make no sense. Because TT's trying to have a well-rounded conversation with her so she can see both sides of the coin. And it ain't getting through to her at all. She's had a bad experience with Brianna, yes. And Brianna did, you know, basically threaten her, talking about, you better leave my friend, da-da-da-da. But you have to be able to compartmentalize each incident. Don't listen to what your niece is saying because she wants to get you, and your son is telling you because she wants to get you to understand that your daughter is acting out of character and the person who's with her is the cause of it. What part of that are you missing? So TT's like, I don't want to tell this woman how to parent. You do need to tell her how to parent because Peppa don't know how to do it sometimes. And she's doing it foul as hell right now. I can't see how she can be okay with this. I cannot. No parent would be okay with this. I wouldn't be okay with it if my daughter's behavior is changing for the worst. But she tries, it at work. TT says she's gonna have to swallow her pride, put her differences aside, and talk to Egypt alone. I don't know what Sam's gonna do. He's probably gonna try to interfere with that too, as always. Who knows? Anyway, they show next episode is gonna do next week. It seems like Lil Twist and JoJo are gonna get into it because JoJo has to pick a fight with everybody and show how big and bad he is, and they're trying to hold him back with some security's trying to hold him back like he's intimidated or something like that. It looks like JoJo was like, Lil Twist, you're disrespecting me. Lil Twist is like, you need to watch the way you talk to me. And they're over there having an argument. But the way Lil Twist is carrying himself is like, bruh, I will fuck you all the way up. And JoJo's doing the most. I feel like, y'all, take a poll. If JoJo and Twist fought, who would win? I say Twist all day. Let me know below. Because I also said Brianna can fuck up Egypt. So Egypt needed not put her hands on her ever. And Egypt said Brianna's never going to forget. I'm never gonna forget it. I'm not even the one you put your hands on. If you put your hands on me, I will remember it to the day I die. Because every time I see you, I'm gonna get you back. Every time until I feel better. I have to feel better about the hit. And however many times it takes me to hit your ass back is how it's gonna take for me to feel better. So you don't put your hands on me if I don't put my hands on you. If I say take the rings, baby, it is fighting words, yes, but Brianna didn't swing first. So hell, she not gonna let that go. I wouldn't let it go. Period. Now, they gave us a treat. Marriage Boot Camp Hip Hop Edition is coming back and I can't wait. But here is the cast, okay? Tahiri Jose, Joe Budden's ex, is coming with a new boo, who I don't think is attractive enough to be with her. I don't think he's fine enough to be with that beautiful ass woman. But hey, maybe there's something she sees in him that I don't see yet. I'll see it on the show. Willie and Shonda from Love and Hip Hop, the one, are you serious? You got me pregnant. I had the pregnancy test and the one who cheated on her on Love and Hip Hop. And Shonda, they're going to be on that show too. Then we have Phaedra Parks is coming with her new boo. Phaedra done left Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and ended up a marriage boot camp. And everybody's going to talk about her. And I can't wait to see what her shady ass is going to say. There's a couple couples I see. What's her name? From other Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Hazel E. and her man are also going to be on the show. I don't know who the fifth couple is. I don't remember what they show, but all those people are going to be there so far, and I think it's going to be a good cast so far. And somebody's going to get into a fight. I want to see what the mess is going to be about and how they're going to fix all these messed up ass relationship that all these freaking hip hop stars can find themselves in. All right. Anyway, please like, subscribe, notification bell. Let me know what you think. I gotta go. I got somewhere to be, but I hope you guys enjoy this review. I try to make it as quick, concise, straight to the point as I can, and I hope you guys have a good evening.